Check. Hey, Shalom Mi Gente, welcome to Bourbon Dojo. I am Blue, and I'm your brown water sensei. And today we're going to immerse ourselves and explore Doc Swinson's straight rye and Doc Swinson's straight bourbon whiskeys. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, so about a year and a half ago, I'm cruising through Costco and I saw a Doc Swinson's on the shelf, and it was for a great price, like 39 bucks, 38 bucks, fairly new into my bourbon journey. And I hadn't had anything up until that time that was cask finished in different casks. And here it is right here. Here's my very first Doc Swinson's. You see, it is from their Alter Ego line. And what was interesting, right, it's finished in sherry and cognac casks. So it was at a perfect proof for me at that time, which was a 95.8. So I decided to try it out. And straight bourbon whiskey and sherry cognac casks. And it was wunderbar, right? Wonderful. So we're going to fast forward to this year, the beginning of the year. Again, cruising through Costco, and I seen Doc Swinson's again, and this time it just said, hey, it's a straight bourbon whiskey, single barrel. So I'm all into single barrels, especially again around that $40 price range. I'm in, right? And then about 2 months ago, once again, just doing our weekly shopping, and what do you know? Doc Swinson's single barrel straight rye whiskey. So these are like must-haves, especially, you know, when they're on sale, and they will go on sale for sure, right? They're gonna hover around that $48, you know, $47 price range, but then they'll go on sale for like 38 bucks. And if that's the case and you're in Cali and you're in a Costco, that is a wonderful price for what they have to offer. So I have their website up. I will go ahead and put what their website link is. It is docswinsons.com. And a little bit about these guys, because these are, they purchase barrels, right? I think this is MGP or raw squib, whatever. And they just find the barrels, they taste them, they like something, they bring it on home. And, you know, sometimes they add, you know, something to them. Sometimes they don't. But here's what it says on their website. You can read it yourselves on their story, right? It says, Doc Swinson's collection began with an extremely small cache of bourbon barrels that were just too good to pass up. It has since grown to a unique and on occasion extremely rare collection of American whiskeys. The proof is in the palate. Each whiskey brought in is personally tasted by the four of us at Doc Swinson's. If it's good, we find a place for it either in our flagship, exploratory, or rare released series. And I'll post a pickup of Jesse, Steve, Chris, and Keith over there at Doc Swinson's. Yeah, so they buy these things, and they, you know, will either just leave it as is and give it to us like a single barrel, or they will, you know, finish it in cognac, sherries, amberula, in different casks, right? So good stuff, and they do have a lot of offerings on their website. There's all kinds of you know, different things that they do, so definitely check out their website. But yeah, let's get into this. Pretty good stuff. We're gonna start off with a straight bourbon. Ryes tend to be a little bit more spicier and kind of dictate to whatever I'm going to try next. So kind of my line of thinking is, right, when I'm tasting, you know, my bourbons and whatnot, people come over, right, you know, I like to kind of start off just with a wheated, if that's what we're all going to try and all going to get into. Then I'll do a straight bourbon, you know, and then it'll be the rye. I usually finish off the night with a rye. Usually finish off the night with a rye and a cigar of sorts. That spiciness just helps, you know, kick in the different flavors of your stogie. So yeah, definitely good stuff. Hey, let me read to you what this Doc Swinson's, the straight bourbon whiskey, has a lot of info. It has the entry date of 2016 and the pool date of 2022. So this is a 6-year Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, and this is also entry date 6/20/2016, and the pool date is 9/19/2022. So the alcohol by volume is 57.5 on the straight bourbon whiskey, which that means it is 115 proof. Single barrel, 115 proof. That's pretty nice. That's kind of what you know, you're hoping for. You know, somewhere between the 115 to 125, 126. I know there's 130s out there and stuff, but for this one, it seemed to be perfect. And it just says it's hand selected for Costco wholesale. So let's go for a pour. Not delay any more time because I'm a little thirsty, a little parched. There it is. Okay. So not too bad of coloring. I don't know if you all can see the coloring on it. It's a little mid to dark, so I like that. Looks good. Good color, caramel color. Right off the nose, right, is fruity. So this one we're getting grapey fruit. So yeah, a little grapefruit, not grapefruit, but grape fruit. A little vanilla, no char. I don't get any barrel influence whatsoever. Very even, you know, caramel. It's your typical bourbon-esque smell to it, and it leans towards the fruit. So all good. I'm not gonna do the palate on there. Should I do the palate or not to palate? I'm doing the palate. Screw it. I was gonna go ahead and do the nose on the rye. The rye is just gonna have to wait. Right on point with that fruit. Appley. So that grape still has that grape, but now it's like a greenish, apple-ish, very faint. Okay. So as the palate gets immersed in the juice, caramel, it warms the tongue. It doesn't warm so much coming down, the throat, but definitely warm in the mouth. It's like hugging your tongue. If a bourbon can hug your tongue, this one's hugging my tongue at 115, with grape, with light apple. Let me do a second sip on this. Yep. Apple and just a tad nutty, not a peanut, definitely not a peanut. It's almondish, almond milkish. It's great. This is a good sipper. This is a good sipper. Yeah, Good stuff. Third sip, same thing. So what's neat is that first sip went to the second and to the third. I'm getting the same finish. I'm getting, you know, my tongue's kind of accustomed to the hug, but the flavors are all there. Yeah, that was quite enjoyable. Doc Swinson's straight bourbon. Good stuff, good stuff. I'm gonna cleanse my palate for a second. I don't know, maybe I'll cut this out, maybe I'll keep it in there. I don't know. Even this YouTube thing has been a journey. I think this is maybe my 4th episode. Learning how to edit, and you know, it's kind of cool. I appreciate you all for tuning in. Yeah, this is kind of fun. I've already had, you know, a couple dozen views on each. Means nothing in the grand scheme of all of YouTube, right? Just a pimple on a boar's ass, but man, you know, it's kind of fun, kind of cool. All right, thank you. Appreciate you all for tuning in. Doc Swinson's Straight Rye Whiskey. Okay, like I said, it's 6 years, entry date 2016, came out on 2022. Alcohol by volume is 56.5, so 113 proof. This was 115 proof, this is 113 proof. Just says 95 rye, 5 malted barley. Oh, I apologize. This straight bourbon whiskey, and I'll put this up as well, up there somewhere at some point in time. I didn't even see it. It's super small, so please forgive an old man. This one says 21 rye, 75 corn, and 4 malted barley. This is, and I looked this up and I couldn't find this anywhere on their websites or anybody else. And the rye is 95 rye. In fact, so they're not messing around with the rye, right? 95 rye. Apparently we're gonna get some rye in this one. Again, I'll stick all that info up there. You can check it out. Let's do this. Ooh. Again, we got 6 years. And usually it doesn't take that long for rye for whatever reasons, enzyme, I don't know. I just probably rambled. Might cut that out too, I have no idea. And thanks for putting up with my rants, right? You know, anyways, I'll cut it out. Okay, so the rye. Okay, yes, I have more ethanol on the rye for some reason. Really no ethanol here, and that nail polish remover here, just a tad bit, but that tad bit can be influenced because it is peppery, spicy. It's a rye, so you kind of expect that more peppery nose and peppery palate. Smells good, not just the pepper, but slight oak presence, even though both 6 years, no real oak here. Again, the rye, little more of that oak. Maybe it's the way, you know, the rye breaks down inside those charred oak barrels and, I don't know, gives some kind of synergistic effect. No, so I'm just getting like baking spice, normal rye, a little bit of oak, nothing out of the ordinary, slight caramel, nothing crazy, nothing crazy. So let's go to the palate and see if see what happens on the palate. Spicy, spicy on the side and the front of the tongues, nothing on the mid tongue. The mid tongue, I'm getting the caramel and the baking spice on it, but the peppery stuff, like the pop rock things that happen, are totally like on the side, in the front of the tongue. It's a rye. It's good. So it's a spiciness, it's peppery, just enough oak. So this right here would totally go good with a Connecticut, right? Stogie, light shaded, cigar wrapper, because what'll end up happening, the creaminess of your lighter shade Connecticut, cigar, it mellows, it's kind of creamy, that cigar, but then you add in a rye, and that kind of picks up and amps up your cigar, and then vice versa. The smokiness of the cigar and the creaminess of the cigar kind of will take the edge off the rye spice. So I think this is good, right? At 38 bucks or whatever I put it, it's gonna go to really good. Not great or exceptional, but good tasting. When you see that it's less than $40, and you could probably add a cube to it and probably have some friends over that would, with that alcohol proof, kind of get them there. I think it's a very good value. If you find it, buy it for sure. And the bourbon though, the bourbon is really good, right? And then when you kick in the price, I think it's very good. Again, under 40 bucks for a great MGP blend bourbon. Nothing wrong with it. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. I'm looking at the back. This barrel was hand selected. This is one of those squirrel things, rabbit trail. I get caught up. This barrel was hand selected by a small group of epic people who found it just too good to pass up. If they couldn't say no, should you? No, I'm not gonna say no. I'm gonna say absolutely yes. I got 2 more bottles in my dojo that I am not ashamed to share. I am not ashamed to have and put them on a YouTube review. I think both of these are good, great values, good whiskeys. If you see Doc Swinson's and see how they're similar, get a little closer, check them out, because I know I've probably crossed, last year especially, I probably went down the aisle and I'm like, same old Doc Swinson's, same old Doc Swinson's, because the labels are so similar, but they're not, they're different. So this year, during my whiskey journey, I learned that, get a little closer, right? Read labels. Read labels. Very important, So I will actually finish off this video with the bourbon. I enjoy it. Thank you. If you can, like, subscribe. I'm getting a kick out of this. I want to do this for a while longer, and that's all going to be dictated by you all, and I just appreciate you all. So once again, at the end, man, just go love someone. Share that love, right? You'll get some warm fuzzies out of it as well. Cheers, my friends. Shalom Mi Gente.